Hello, everyone. It is officially the start of the 2023 election season, and here we are at ThePrint today to give you a bird's eye view of what's happening in the three northeastern states that went to the polls last month. So this is what the early trends look like. In Meghalaya, Conrad Sangma's NPP seems to be on its way to a majority by itself. In Nagaland, the NDPP-BJP alliance seems to be romping home quite comfortably. Tripura, on the other hand, right now, BJP has just dropped, and these are, remember, early leads. These are not results we are talking about. So in the early leads in Tripura, BJP has just dropped below the halfway mark. And to discuss more on this, I'm joined today by our political editor, DK Singh, and our Northeast correspondent, Karishma Hasnat. Welcome, both of you. DK, what do you see happening? How do you analyze these early trends?
Well, I'm totally focused on Tripura right now because it's a seesaw battle. It's actually tense. You don't know which way it's going right now. BJP was leading up to what, 32, 36 seats. It's down to below 30.
They were up
very
41 at one point.
Yeah, for me, the takeaway is, big thing happening is in Meghalaya. BJP leading on 8 seats so far. It's quite an improvement. You know, we are talking about Christian majority states of, say, Tripura and Nagaland. Sorry, Meghalaya and Nagaland. There, BJP performing so well is quite interesting. Nagaland, of course, there is no surprise because you hardly have any opposition left.
Right.
So you saw how 2021 it became an opposition Mukt Sarkar because NPF decided to join the government just to facilitate the peace process. But NPF, as you see, you know, over 2021 NPF MLAs had NDP. So there is a left on the. So Nagaland was a done deal. Meghalaya is looking interesting. NPP may not have a majority on its own, but then again, you know that BJP will always come to support the NPP because Conrad Sangma, even when he had decided to go alone, he was keeping the option of going with the BJP open. And just 2 days back, day before yesterday, Himanta Biswa Sharma had a meeting with Conrad. So they are already working on that. Then you have UDP. UDP is leading on about 6 seats. So the old allies will come together and they will have a comfortable majority in the assembly as such, even if numbers for different parties may dip or go up. So again, BJP part of the government in Nagaland, BJP part of the government in Meghalaya, if you look at the national picture. But Tripura is going to be very interesting. That's what I'm watching. Abantika, you have been to both Nagaland and Tripura covering the elections extensively. You tell me, Tripura results you see today. Did you expect that seesaw battle that we are seeing now? It's like a big tussle between the ruling party and the opposition. Did you see that opposition coming out that strongly?
Yes. There did seem to be a lot of resentment against the BJP. When I talked to people, there was also a lot of goodwill for Manik Saha, who came in only, a year, less than a year, 10 months or so before the elections. He actually, to my mind, the BJP numbers we are seeing right now is a lot Manik Saha's doing because Biplav Deb had one way or the other really dented the BJP's image. And in the last 10 months, Manik Saha seemed to have sort of recovered a lot of goodwill with his work. In fact, I many times I had heard that this is a tough battle, but had remember a couple of years ago when Shudip Roy Bormon, who is currently in the Congress, and then he was in the BJP and he was camping in Delhi for months demanding a CM change. Time and time again on Tripura streets, I had heard that if BJP had made the change that it finally did in 2022 May, if it had done the same change when there were these disgruntled elements led by Shudip camping in Delhi, it would have been very comfortable, but that did not happen. So yes, I did foresee a sort of a fight there, definitely, not a one-sided thing like Nagaland seems to be going, and that's the sense I had got there also when I traveled. But Tripura, I've always felt would be an exciting battle, and so it's turning out to be. And I think one story of these two states. Now I'm talking about Meghalaya and Tripura. Is going to be the Trinamool Congress, or what happened to it. So if Karishma, you want to pitch in on that, what's happening?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Well, I'll completely agree with what DK said. Meghalaya, it looks pretty interesting. And going by exit polls, I think what the leads suggest, NPP will be comfortably in the picture. They're leading in 15 seats now, followed by UDP leading in 7. BJP, interestingly, is leading in 4, and Trinamool Congress in 3. So the exit polls, most of them had
Karishma, then the leads are coming down, because at one point of time before we started, NPP was somewhere around 20, BJP was maybe on 8. So again, but these are early trends. Let's hold our horses. Yes. But you tell me, Karishma, what were the issues on the ground?
Right. So I have traveled to the Garo Hills. You'd know, DK, the Garo Hills has been the epicenter, the battleground of Meghalaya politics. And we have seen the Meghalaya has seen a Garo chief minister, often leading the government. So in Garo Hills, I've traveled to North Garo Hills, West Garo Hills, and parts of East Garo Hills as well. So on ground, there are a couple of issues, but when I talk to young people, young voters, the Gen Z crowd or the youngest millennials, the primary concerns are unemployment and education, coupled with development. Others also say that government schemes have not been well utilized, and they have poor roads, they have drinking water problems. So there's so many issues, and Meghalaya, remember, has perennial issues like illegal coal mining, inner line permit, local identity, border problems. So everything coupled together, I think these are the issues that they have always been grappling with.
So let's not basically take any final view right now, but going by trends, see, BJP doing so well in Meghalaya and again in Nagaland. I would like to know from both of you, how do you see the BJP doing so well in Christian majority states?
When you talk of Meghalaya, of course, in 2018, BJP could manage just 2% of the vote share with just 2 seats, but yet they could get the numbers for the NPP to form the coalition-led government in Meghalaya. This time, I've seen BJP going all out in electioneering in different parts, not only in Garo Hills, but also in the Plains Belt. Everywhere, the BJP have tried their best. If you remember, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had also campaigned in the Plains Belt in 2018, but there they drew a blank last time. But this time, interestingly, BJP is trying all out, and they have roped in candidates from all communities. Now, when I spoke with BJP leader Bernard Sangma, who is standing against Conrad Sangma from South Tura, and supposedly he's also leading from South Tura. We'll have to see what happens. So when I asked him the specific question, how did the BJP make inroads into a Christian majority state? In these states, the primary issue has been on cattle and smuggling and beef. Christian majority state, the leaders had all confessed on camera that they all take beef. So I don't see that BJP had imposed their ideology, because here it is mostly about personality and faces more than the party's ideology that had worked for them. And of course, they have been working on ground silently, which the other parties might not have taken note of. So they comfortably distanced themselves from the NPP when it came to pre-poll strategies. And even as you said, that Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma had met with Conrad Sangma in Guwahati. We don't know what assurance, or if there was any assurance given to Conrad Sangma. So in that case, it all depends on what BJP decides, and Himanta Biswa Sharma being the master strategist for the Northeast for BJP. It would be really interesting to see. But yes,
don't forget. Yeah, please go on.
Yes, on ground, I see that people have no problem with BJP. And in Meghalaya, people don't like to talk ill about any party. Maybe because of their ideals, their principles that they follow in a Christian majority state. I tried to ask them, why do you think that the BJP has emerged suddenly, or would you accept the party, or is there a problem? But they wouldn't speak ill of any party. Rather, they said that everyone is doing their work. So the BJP has silently worked in this state, keeping well in mind people's sentiments associated with the Christianity.
Before I come to you, Abantika, just to make it clear, in 2018, it was the BJP which was instrumental in putting up this government, Conrad Sangma-led government. Our viewers will recall it was the Congress which emerged as the single largest party. BJP got just 2 seats, but then the BJP helped the NPP, Conrad Sangma, to get more other allies together and form the government, and they ran the government for all of 5 years. So again, it looks like when we talk about Conrad Sangma's meeting with Himanto, again, he is depending heavily on Himanto to bring all these people together. Again, you have UDP having 6 members. So if they fall short of the majority mark, as it looks like BJP and NPP can go together. But anyway, I suppose UDP will be back in the government. Yes, so you expect Himanto to play that role of the mediator again, bringing everybody together. But this time, of course, BJP would look for a larger pound of flesh. So out of 2 MLAs last time, BJP got one of them into the ministry. One of them has been a minister of this government, NPP-led government. This time, if they have more seats, we'll see the BJP asserting itself. Coming to you, again, staying with this theme, coming to you, Abantika, we saw the church giving almost a very explicit call to vote against the BJP. It does seem to have worked.
So one thing here is that BJP in Nagaland is actually a junior partner. It's very easy to lose sight of that fact, given the campaign blitzkrieg that was launched. That was launched by Prime Minister Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, BJP JP Nadda. It's very easy to sort of forget that, but that's the fact. And what we are seeing here is actually NDPP plus, not BJP plus. So that is a very important qualification that I would like to make here. Also, I agree totally with Karishma, because BJP does tend to go soft on its Hindutva ideals here in the, there in the Northeast. Be it beef, be it other issues. There's no temple hopping, there's no overt Hindutva sort of symbolisms that are involved. That's a very careful, calculated thing. But also, very importantly, Nagaland has a long history of going with the party at the center. There is this overwhelming perception, right from the very political person to somebody who's completely indifferent to politics, that our only hope of development is if we go with the party at the center, we get enough funds for our, and trust me, when I travel this time, I have been to quite a bit of the Northeast, but I have actually never been to a place where development is so seriously lacking. I mean, the state of the roads, the Dimapur-Kohima road is the best road. And when people initially told me that, I was shocked. But then when I traveled, I actually saw it is the best road, and it's nothing. It's quite bad in itself. So given that state, there is so much development still to be done. Nagaland also is the most, it's got the highest rate of unemployment in the country. So there are a lot of issues that need resolution. And there's obviously the Naga political issue, which is pending for so long. That again needs the center. I mean, you have to have the center behind you to even reasonably hope. Though there is a lot of disillusionment when I travel this time. Many people are saying center doesn't want to solve this. If they wanted, they could have done it in the last 30 years that we have been talking, especially 2018 BJP. The Prime Minister went there and he said in a few months this will be resolved. That didn't happen. But be that as it may, even if this hangs fire, there is an overwhelming realization on the ground that we have to go with the party at the center. That is a very clear thing, and that is why Christian majority or not, BJP and its partner NDPP are doing so well in Nagaland.
Let's turn to our viewers' questions, Abantika. Let's see what they're asking, what they're curious about.
So, but what do you make of Trinamool Congress, DK? I am very curious.
Oh, look, Trinamool, they got 12 MLAs of the Congress. So, in the Northeast, it's also basically personality-based politics that you have. It's not always with the party. So, 12 MLAs you get from the Congress, well, probably 8 of them are leading right now. So, I wouldn't say it's Trinamool's, big show. But of course, they have been able to replace the Congress as the principal opposition party there. I mean, as it looks like so far.
Right. So it's not really their big show, but is this show commensurate with the kind of firepower that it used? Mamta campaigning, campaigning.
Not really. Because Mamta herself was leading the campaign there, and I think she visited. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mamta has visited twice or thrice there, and making some fiery speeches. So we actually expected them to do better, but then of course the ruling side has held on.
Right. So I don't see any questions right now, but Karishma, if I can come to you, Meghalaya has this sort of there has been this talk in Meghalaya a lot about corruption, and there has been the Sangma family corruption, too many family members in businesses and all of that, in politics, business, all of that. That does not seem to have made any difference to the electorate there, right?
Well, yes, corruption is ingrained in every state, I would say, and the BJP had campaigned in Meghalaya on the issue of corruption. They went all out against hammer and tongs against the NPP and Conrad Sangma, calling Meghalaya the #1 state in corruption. And this was well capitalized by Mukul Sangma. Remember, the Trinamool Congress has pinned all hopes, like the fate of Trinamool Congress rests on Mukul Sangma. So Mukul Sangma made it his main electoral, issue, corruption, stating that the coffers have been left empty because of the corruption engaged by NPP leaders who have left the state dry, and he went again all out against the NPP chief Conrad Sangma as well. But yes, on ground, when we see that there people, generally the voters, the electorate, they have said that both Mukul Sangma or Conrad Sangma, both these leaders have let them down because they have not seen development on ground. I spoke about roads, I spoke about drinking water issues, and there are many such issues. So the work has not been done by either government. So even if any opposition party, or any party independently raises the issue of corruption, voters would say that no government has really worked for them. So this is not really going to affect or influence.
Right. And now,
before we, yes, please.
No, I was saying, from the Trinamool Congress, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Congress, because Trinamool Congress really seems to be becoming the Aam Aadmi Party of the Northeast, eating into the Congress votes in a sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
What do you, how do you see Congress, Congress's efforts playing out?
Congress almost gave up. You saw how they had 17 MLAs. In fact, they were the single largest party in 2018. From 21 seats, they came to 17. 12 MLAs go to the Trinamool, and 5 others decide to support the Conrad Sangma-led government. And you did not really see much anxiety in the Congress camp about it. In Tripura, look at them. They were the principal opposition party until 2018.
Yeah.
They just gave up. They have gone ahead with the left. They are contesting just on 13 seats this time. So they have given up on Tripura as well. Nagaland, again, but they were in power in Nagaland about 2 decades back. But after that, we have seen their very consistent, gradual and consistent, decline, so much so that they have become totally irrelevant. So that tells you the story about the Congress, which is losing its ground everywhere, but they're not looking really concerned. Meghalaya, where they were so strong, they just gave up.
Right.
Before we wind up this discussion, let's talk about Pradeep Dev Verma factor in Tripura. He seems to be doing very well.
Right.
debut assembly election, leading on about 10-12 seats.
13 seats, yeah.
13 seats now.
Hmm.
Now, he could become a kingmaker. Which side do you see him going?
See, that's a very tough question to answer. But if somebody puts a gun to my head and tells me to pick a side, I would say Pradut would go with the Left Congress alliance. That's my honest assessment.
And why is that?
Sorry?
And why is that?
So see, I'm told his last meeting with Amit Shah didn't go that well. So and he's not somebody who takes slights easily. So that's one thing. Also, he has a lot of the rise of the Motha has been on the, because BJP was in government when Motha rose to power. It was in the BJP government. So he's trying to replace the IPFT as the leading tribal voice. And he has a lot of the issues that he has taken up are directly with the BJP. I'm not saying it's not happened in the past, that he can still go with the BJP. That's a very easy thing to do for him. But and he has, remember in the interview, he had told us that even if I get 30 seats, for that one seat, somebody has to come to me. I'm not going to go, and I'm not going to go with anybody till, again, the same thing about what he had said in the pre-poll, during the pre-poll alliance, that you have to give me constitutional guarantee of a solution to my demands. So he does seem to have watered down those demands. But again, there is a qualitative difference he's been making in the kind of assurance he's seeking from the Congress left and in the kind of assurance he's seeking from the BJP, because he has maintained that BJP is in the center. So when I talk about this issue with the BJP, I cannot be talking to the BJP. I have to be talking to the government of India, because they are in power and only the government of India can solve my issues. So these are the kinds of stands he has taken. Yes, it's still sort of very delicately balanced. BJP is just 5 short of majority on its own.
Anyway, coming to Dev Burma, pre-poll stencil and post-poll stencil are not necessarily the same in politics.
Totally, yes, totally, I agree.
All right. So on that note, I will wind up this discussion. Please stay tuned. We'll keep coming back to you with more updates as results get clearer. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks, Avantika. Thanks, Kanishwa.